This is Chris Videos. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both my TikToks that will be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my WWE NXT January 16th, 2024 reviews. So we'll get discussing about tonight's episode of NXT. Now, it's been a minute since I talked about NXT. Been a few months now, but I'm trying to get back into talking about it and all that stuff. Still been watching every single week. Just haven't spoke about it, Didn't really have the time, but now I am going to go ahead and start talking about NXT. So, yeah, we kick off the show with the first match of the night. It was Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams versus Edris Enofe and Malik Blade in the first round of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. So, yeah, tournament. So, yeah, we get to this match. This match was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth between these two teams. A few times I really thought that Enofe and Blade was going to win this match. And by the way, Enofe, he got like the Dusty Rhodes tribute gear, which looks really good. The polka dots and stuff, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that was really great from him. Doing a tribute to Dusty Rhodes with his ring gear, which is pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, it was going back and forth between these two teams. Like at one point, Enofe hit a big elbow drop off the top turnbuckle into Trick, and then Trick barely kicked out at 2. And then Carmelo was tagged in this match, and then Blade was the one that was tagged in. Enofe was, jumps over to the top rope, and, Trick lays him out outside of the ring. And then at one point, we actually see Blade take out Mello, and then he climbed up the top turnbuckle and jumps off with a massive frog splash onto Mello, and then he pins him. 1, 2, Trick breaks at the pin at the count of 2, barely breaking it up, but he did broke it up. And then we see Mello hit that code breaker onto Blade after that, and then he tags in Trick. Trick comes in there with that running jumping knee onto Blade, pinning him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams defeated Malik Blade and Edris Enofe tonight in the first round of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Tournament. So yeah, pretty good match, really great match between these two teams. These two teams really cooked in this match. For this match, I'll give it 3.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. Great start to NXT tonight. Really good stuff. But then after that, we see Fallon Henley getting interviewed backstage, and she was talking about how she never had a NXT Women's Championship match at all, and this will be her first time, and she's going to try to win this. So yeah, that's what she had to say right there. Pretty good stuff. But yeah, there's more matches tonight from the Dusty Rhodes Classic Tournament. We got a match later on tonight. I think it's LWO versus Chase U in the first round of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Tournament. That match will be later on tonight, so that will be concluding the first rounds of the tournament. And yeah, we're going to hear from the new NXT North American Champion, Oba Femi, up next on NXT. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on NXT, we see a segment, before we talk about the main segment and stuff with Oba Femi, we gotta talk about a segment that happened backstage. So yeah, we see Lola Vice and Elektra Lopez talking and stuff, talking about they're gonna win the Battle Royale to, be pretty much go to Vengeance Day to try to win the NXT Women's Championship and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden we see Tatum Paxley pop up, and she goes like, no one's going to beat Lyra Valkyria and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what she says, and then she calls them both weirdos and dips out, even though she was like behind blinds and stuff. So yeah, that was pretty funny right there. But yeah, that's what happened there. And then we get to the next segment of the night, where we see the new NXT North American Champion, Oba Femi. He comes out there, and he got a few things to say, talking about how he is the new NXT North American Champion, how he cashed in his breakout contract to beat Dragon Lee to become the new NXT North American Champion and all that stuff, and how it gets an open challenge and all that stuff, and how everything's going to be run by him and all that stuff. But then all of a sudden, Dragon Lee comes out there, and he pretty much wants a match up against Oba Femi at Vengeance Day for the NXT North American Championship. He goes like, look, it's all good that you beat me and all that stuff last week, but I want the, I want come out here and answer to that open challenge. And Open Family looks at me and goes like, well, the open challenge is no more. So yeah, that's what he says. And Dragon Lee was like, well, I want my title rematch. And Open Family was like, well, I'll think about it. And then he walks away. So yeah, that's what happened there. But then after that, we see Eddie Thorpe backstage, and he's talking to a bunch of people, and then we see this guy named Trey Bearhill. I think that's his name, if I'm not mistaken. He comes back there, and he wants to talk to Eddie Thorpe and all that stuff, talking about their culture and stuff, and how Eddie Thorpe is doing a good job of representing them, and all that stuff. And then Dijak comes up, talking a lot of crap to Eddie Thorpe, and he goes like, and then he starts talking crap to Trey Bearhill, and he says, you know what, you could get it tonight. So yeah, that's what happened there. But yeah, up next we're going to be seeing the tag team match, Lyra Valkyria and Tatum Pixley versus Lola Vice and Alexa Lopez up next on NXT in a tag team match. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on NXT, now before we talk about the next match of the night, we got to talk about a segment that happened backstage. So yeah, we see Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams talking backstage somehow. They're going to go to the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Tournament, and they are going to win the tournament at Vengeance Day and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what they was talking about. But then all of a sudden, the NXT champion Ilya Dragunov comes up to Trick, and he tells Trick that, that he's sorry that he wasn't medically cleared at New Year's Eve, because he said he wanted a fight. But he says that he is medically cleared now, and he says that he will gladly give Trick Williams the NXT Championship match that he deserves. And he says that he wants to give it to him on the big stage, and he wants to give it to him in 2 weeks on Vengeance Day. So yeah, that's what he says. And Trick Williams is all happy. He goes like, hell yeah, and stuff. And, he's all happy about it. And then Mello looks at Trick and goes like, Trick, at Vengeance Day, we was talking about going into the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Tournament Finals. And Trick was like, oh yeah. And then, yeah, that's what happened there. And then we get to the next match of the night. It was the NXT Women's Champion, Lyra Valkyria, teaming up with Tatum Paxley versus Lola Vice and Alexa Lopez in a tag team match. And yeah, we get to this match, and it was a good match for the most part. Like, we see Lyra Valkyria hitting a Northern Light suplex onto Lopez, which was pretty nice, and she only got a 2 count out of it. And then, Lyra got pushed into the corner. We see Tatum tag herself in, and then Tatum jumps off the top turnbuckle with a nice crossbody onto Lopez. She pins her 1, 2. The pin gets broken up at the count of 2 by Lola Vice, and Lola Vice kicks Valkyria in the stomach because she came into the ring and all that stuff. And when she was trying to hit a spinning roundhouse kick onto Lyra, we see Tatum push Lyra out of the way, and then she gets kicked upside the head, and she falls onto Lopez. And then we see Lyra Valkyria pushing Lola Vice out of the ring, and Tatum Paxley got the 3 count. So yeah, after being knocked out. So yeah, Tatum Paxley and Lyra Valkyria defeated Lola Vice and Alexa Lopez tonight in a tag team match. That's what happened. It was good and stuff. I'll give that match 2 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was okay and stuff. But yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff. But yeah. And then, after that match ended, we see a bunch of women in the locker room and stuff. And then we see Ariana Grace going on this thing. Somehow she's going to win the Battle Royale, become the new NXT Women's Champion at Vengeance Day. And all that's going on and on and on. And then all the women just walked out the locker room while she's still talking. And yeah, that's what happened there. Later on tonight, we'll see that Battle Royale. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until the next thing that happens on NXT. Up next is a one-on-one match. It'll be Joe Coffrey versus Ridge Holland up next. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on NXT, we get to the next match of the night. It was Ridge Holland versus Joe Coffrey with Mark Coffrey and Wolfgang Gallus at ringside. So yeah, we get to this match, and this match it was okay and stuff. Joe was doing everything that he could do to try to beat Ridge Holland, like he springboard off the second rope, second turnbuckle with a massive elbow drop, only getting a 2 count out of it. And him and Rich Holland was beating the hell out of each other up until Rich Holland tries to hit a clothesline onto him. Joe ducks it, and then Rich Holland comes back with another clothesline. This time Joe couldn't duck it. He gets hit with that clothesline, and then Rich Holland picks him up, scoops him up with a like a scoop slam driver type move, power slam driver, onto Joe Coffey, pinning him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Rich Holland defeated Joe Coffey tonight in a one-on-one match. That's what happened. It was okay. I'll give that match 1.5 stars. Actually, I'll give it 2 stars. That's what I'll give it. But yeah, that's what happened there. And then after that match, we see NXT Anonymous watching JC Jane and all them backstage talking about Chase U and the Battle Royale and all that stuff. So yeah, that was happening backstage as well. But yeah, still to come later on tonight, we'll see the #1 contenders women's battle royale later on tonight to determine who will be the #1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship at Vengeance Day. So yeah, that match is still to come later on tonight on NXT. Not only that, we'll see the LWO versus Chase U in the first round of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Tournament later on tonight on NXT. I think that's the main event. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. Actually, I forgot to mention one more part. Actually, I don't know how I missed this, which was pretty bad on my part. But after the match, Rich Holland did get attacked from Gallus, and they was beating the hell out of him. And they kept on looking back to see if anybody was going to come out there and help him, but nobody's coming out there to help him. And we see Joe Coffey hitting that discus clothesline onto Rich Holland. But yeah, that's what happened there, and that was the end of it. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on NXT. Now, before we talk about the next match of the night, we're going to talk about a few segments that happen backstage. Like we see Kaylani Jordan talking backstage, talking about how she's going to win the Battle Royale tonight to become the #1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship and all that stuff. And then we have the other girl come up. I forgot what was her name, the blonde-headed girl, talking about how she hopes that Kaylani wins too. So yeah, and that's what happened there. And then we get to the next segment where we see Baron Corbin getting interviewed backstage, and then Braun Breaker comes up, and then it was a pretty funny segment between those two guys. Braun Breaker pretty much thought of the tag team's names and all that stuff, the Wolf Gang or whatever, and all that stuff. And he was talking about he was thinking of the tag team name in the shower, and Baron Corbin was like, "Hold up, why are you thinking of me in the shower?" And then all of a sudden he goes like, "Well, I've been thinking about it for like 4 weeks." And then Baron Corbin was like, "We only been teaming up for 2 weeks." And yeah, it was just funny. It was going back and forth between those two guys. Really good stuff, But then after that, we get to the next match of the night. It was Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro, the LWO, versus Duke Hudson and Riley Osborne with Andre Chase U in a tag team match of the first round of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Tournament. Zelina Vega was at ringside for the LWO. But yeah, this match was a pretty good match. Duke Hudson was trying to do everything that he could do, try to win this match and all that stuff for his team. But then it wasn't enough when we see Joaquin Wilde just going wild too, really. Jumping over the top rope with a front flip senton onto Osborne outside the ring. And then he comes up with like a suicide dive DDT type move onto Duke Hudson outside the ring, laying him out. Tosses him into the ring, and he hits like a moonsault off the second turnbuckle onto Duke Hudson. He tags in Cruz del Toro. Cruz del Toro jump off the top turnbuckle with the Phoenix Splash onto Duke Hudson. He pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, the LWO defeated Chase U tonight in the first round of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Tournament. So yeah, now we're going to go to the semifinals where we're going to be seeing the LWO versus Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams in the semifinals. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff though. But then after that, we see Tony D'Angelo talking to the family and all that stuff, talking to a girl, Adriana, that she's going to win the #1 contenders battle royale to become the #1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship. That's what he was saying there. But then after that, we see Joe Casey on commentary, so he's going to be on commentary for the next match, Dijak versus Trey Bearhill. up next in a one-on-one match. So yeah, that match will be up next. So yeah, see you guys. Oh yeah, by the way, for that tag team match, I'll give it 3 stars with the LWO versus Chase U. Pretty good one. But yeah, see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on NXT, we get to the next match of the night. It was Dijak versus Trey Bearhill, which he looks like Post Malone, so I'll probably be calling him Post Malone now. But yeah, they was going at it again, 1-on-1 against each other on NXT, and Joe Gacy was on commentary for this match. And Dijak and Trey was going at it back and forth and everything. They go outside the ring, going at it, and then Dijak threw him to the barricade, and then him and Joe Gacy started getting into it during this match. For some reason, they just started getting into it. The referee didn't see it, and Joe Gacy hits him with a headbutt, hitting Dijak, and then Dijak got thrown back into the ring. And then we see Post Malone doing everything they could do to try to win this match, beating down Dijak, hitting a crossbody, only getting a 2 count out of it. But then at the ending of this match, we see Dijak doing that spinning big boot onto Trey, laying him out and getting the 3 count. So yeah, Dijak defeated Trey Bearhill tonight in a 1-on-1 match. That's what happened. And after the match ended, Dijak and Joe Gacy starts going at it, and they go at it from out of the ring, up the ramp, going backstage and all that stuff. And then we see Bearhill on his knees, and he just randomly screams, just random as hell. And then all of a sudden he gets attacked from behind by Alexis King, and Alexis King hits that spinning neck breaker onto Trey and then laid him out. So yeah, that's what happened there. For the match, what happened after the match, I'll give it all 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it there. But yeah, that's what happened there. And then after that, we see JBL talking to Josh Briggs backstage, somehow he needs to find his true self, just like how JBL had found his true self in the Wrestling God and all that stuff. And that's what he was talking about. So yeah, that's what happened there. But up next, we're going to be seeing the #1 Contenders Women's Battle Royale. Up next, winner of this match will be taking on Lyra Valkyria for the NXT Women's Championship at Vengeance Day. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on NXT, we get to the main event. But before we talk about the main event, we see Carmelo Hayes in the locker room, and then Trick Williams comes up, and he wants to apologize to Carmelo Hayes for getting out of hand, because he was so excited for the NXT Championship match. But he says that he knows that him and Melo will win the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic tournament. So yeah, that's what they said. And they got prepared for that match against the LWO next week in the semifinals. So yeah, that's what they all said. But then we get to the main event. It was a #1 Contenders Battle Royale match, and pretty much what will happen is, obviously, you get, people got to eliminate each other and stuff like that, and then the last 4, it will go into a fatal 4-way match. So yeah, and winner of this match will be #1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship, and they will go up against Lyra Valkyria at Vengeance Day for the NXT Women's Championship. So yeah, we'll get to this match, and this match had a lot of people in it. Roxanne Perez, Kiana James, Fallon Henley, Thea Hale, Gigi Dolan was in this match, Kaylani Jordan, Carmen Petrovic, Ariana Grace was in this. Just a lot of people, Lash Legend, and yeah, a lot of people was getting eliminated, like Lash Legend got eliminated, Thea Hill got eliminated, Gigi Dolan, just a lot of people. Blair Davenport was getting eliminated in this match. At one point, Blair Davenport got eliminated. She dragged Carmen Petrovic out of the ring and knocked her out, and then tosses her back into the ring. And then Ariana Grace finally got elimination by eliminating Carmen Petrovic, where she was already knocked out, And then at one point, we actually see Lola Vice actually eliminating Alexa Lopez, and then Lola Vice got eliminated after that, and then Lola Vice and Alexa Lopez going at it up the ramp, beating the hell out of each other and all that stuff. But then everybody starts getting eliminated, and then we get down to the final 4. It was Roxanne Perez, Kaylani Jordan, Kiana James, and Fallon Henley in a fatal 4-way match. So yeah, we get to the match now, and yeah, everybody was going at it in this match. Pretty good stuff. Like, we see Roxanne Perez hit like a hurricanrana onto Kiana James off the top turnbuckle, and then immediately Kaylani Jordan hits a frog splash, a nice one, onto Kiana James, pins her. 1, 2, the pin gets broken up the count of 2 by Fallon Henley, and then Roxanne Perez tosses her out of the ring, but she lands on the ring apron, and she gets a super kick off the ring apron by Roxanne Perez. And then Kaylani Jordan takes out Roxanne Perez, and then tries to hit that split-legged moonsault off the turnbuckle onto Kiana James, but Kiana James got pulled out the ring by her tag team partner, which I forgot what was her name. And she got pulled out the ring. Kaylani Jordan hits the mat, and then that's when Roxanne Perez hits that sunset flip onto her, powerbomb onto Kaylani Jordan, pinning her for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Roxanne Perez won the match, and she is the #1 contenders for the NXT Women's Championship. And then the NXT Women's Champion, Lyra Valkyria, comes walking out holding the title up high. So yeah, that's what happened there, and they got a contract signing next week. But yeah, pretty good match. For that match, I'll give it 4 stars. That's why I'll give it the Battle Royale into the Fatal 4-Way match. Pretty good stuff. But yeah, that's what happened there. Roxanne Perez is the #1 contenders now. But yeah, for tonight's NXT, I'll give it 8 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a good episode, but yeah, that's why I'll give it. So yeah, I'll be talking about AEW Dynamite tomorrow night. Look out for that. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to my other channel, TNW Wrestling and all that stuff. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikToks and all that. It'll all be down there in the description box. And I will see you guys later. Until then.